Good morning, cyber traders. Welcome on the lovely Friday. Good to see you all, Lita, Susie. Good to see you all. Grant, everybody on social media, welcome back. All right, let's get ready to rock and roll. A couple of good things that are moving on. Yesterday was a really good day, actually, in the market. Even though you might think it was a little bit of a catastrophe on certain stocks, but there was some good movement on certain ones. We're going to check them out, especially. I mean, we had a good run up in some of the other stocks like a PLTR, a Hood. We're gonna look at those. Summit, some of them are still moving today. So some will convert into a day trade. This one obviously is gapped up a little bit too. We'll check this out too. But it is Friday. We want to be really careful on a Friday. We always kind of remind you. Yesterday we had an open house. I kind of went over some of the best times and worst times to trade. And we all know that, Mondays and Fridays a little scary. Listen, it's a weekend. It's beautiful today here in New York. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Like I said, this is what I tell you what happens over the summer. Yesterday, I'm driving, and there was just so much traffic everywhere. Everyone's just basically just getting, leaving. You know what I mean? Getting ready for the weekend. That's usually what happens going in days like this. So going into this morning, I'm not seeing as much, but there are a couple of things. We're going to check them out. But before we do that, let's talk about what moved yesterday, and then we'll go through the watch list. So just to remind everybody, today we do got phase 3 that's going on. So if you are a student, we just posted a link up there. We're going to be doing live trading with me. So we're going to do that from 9:30 to 10:30. And then we got from 3 to 4 going into the close. I like to trade on Fridays because you kind of see what to kind of expect, what happens early, in the mornings, and how to kind of trade days like today, and how we kind of journal. So we're going to talk about entries and exits because that's really the big thing that we're going to focus on. All right. So we got the link. If you don't know how to get into the room, just talk to Education Advisor. By the way, if you're watching on social media, what the hell did I do with my phone? I must have left it downstairs. But you got that little on the top left-hand corner. Just click on that link over there in the left-hand corner. If you want to come and join us here at Cyber Trading University in our live trading room, best way to sign in. Just make sure you like us, friend us, and ring that bell. All right. So let's talk about what moved yesterday. So a couple of interesting stocks that moved. Let's start off with HUMA. Okay. So HUMA has had a phenomenal day trade and a phenomenal swing trade. So you could see this stock literally in the beginning of May was around $4. It's up literally over 100% on an actual swing trade. And as a day trade, the last couple of days, it's done phenomenal. Yesterday, I mean, it was a little bit of a slow mover, but it did show up on our radar. And right around this 335, you can see I ran to about 950, and it's up again today. One issue with the HUMA. Remember what we teach you in phase 1. 3 things: tradable, trend, and the third one is what we're going to focus on today is the traps. The stock is probably a category 3. Okay. So for some of you don't know what that means. Some of your students, you know what that means. You got to be really careful because we've learned that in phase 3 that when you trade something that is out of the volatility of of your style or your level, it's going to shake you out. It's very risky. You got to know how to buy on certain ways. So you got to be careful with stock like that. So it could change, but usually, it doesn't change as the days go on. More people know about it. More people trade it. The more volatile it gets. Another stock, NNE, another very inexpensive stock, a little IPO. Stock's moving up pretty well. It is up again this morning. We talked about this yesterday. A good little pop on it. I am going to put this back on the watch list. So listen, more people hear about it. You know what you hear first, right here at Cyber Trading University. Why that is? Not that we got a crystal ball. We just see it show up on our watch list. So that one, like HUMA, back on the watch list from the day before. Hood. So Hood was a really fun stock yesterday. You could see Hood had a really good push from 21 to 22. And what was nice about Hood yesterday, I was doing this in the free webinar that I was doing, the open house that we had, a lot of resistance levels at 22. Big iceberg order. Do I Hood it back on here? And I kind of like Hood as in the swing trade a little bit. So, but that 22 is a little bit of a kryptonite. You could see it's breaking it. And it looks like it kind of is a little bit. Looked like it took the 22. It was a big seller. I think it was like 180,000 share seller on Hood. But Robinhood's doing really, really well. It's a brokerage firm. big interest in Bitcoin. They own a shitload of it. They got like the second largest position in it. Bitcoin goes up, hood goes up. Bitcoin goes down, hood will go down. That's the way it is. So regardless how good they're doing the brokerage industry, it's it's not what they're doing in as a company. It's what they're invested in, and that's what really where they put all their chips. So that one obviously did well. AI. Okay, we talked about AI. We said, you know what? I told you. Some of us missed the run up in the video, which is it's up again. It's up this morning, and but I don't know. Maybe other AI stocks don't pick up with it, but it did do well yesterday. Just remember what I was telling you yesterday when we were trading with me and Josh. AI is a very, very volatile stock. It's got a lot of nasty shakes. You could see how it went from like 28 and it dropped all the way down to 25 and went back up to 27 and it came back down to 26. It is very, very risky. So be very, very careful of AI. But if you are one of the phase 3, level 3, level 4 traders or higher, you should be okay with that one. All right. You should know how to deal with it. So that one did pretty well. Summit had my God, this stock was like incredible yesterday. Okay. So look what happened with Summit. What a run. Stock got halted. Obviously, it must have been news or something that news must have came out on the company. Whatever drug they came out with was just off the charts. It went from 320, opened up to 5, opened up at 8, and then it went all the way to 11, backed off to 7, and then going all the way to the close. I mean, this is exactly what we look for. The last program trading of the market is the last 15 minutes. Look what happened to Summit. It just went from $8 to a whopping 12. I mean, just you couldn't do anything wrong. Right here is what we're looking at right there. Okay. That is not only a Fausto flag, but that also right there is a higher high. Higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. So you had time to jump in that stock several times. And if you just held on, like we talk about, what is the rule we teach you at Cyber Trade University? You hold into the close. You killed it on Summit. But don't worry about it. There's plenty of Summits. Okay. There's plenty of Summits out there. Actually, she's going back on the watch list Summit. All right. SMMT. You know what's funny? Because we saw something up with it and it was like it was trading like the last couple of days. And like the stock is moving up pretty nicely. And sure enough, how do we know? Read between the lines. Anyway, let's go do some shopping. Let's see what's going on this morning. I got a couple other stocks on this watch list. We're going to start off with GPS, and that's not the one that's in your car. That is the clothes company, Gap. Gap had earnings yesterday, did really well. Major resistance levels going back in March, though. You can see it right here at 28.50. So if it does go up higher, it's got to get past that. But it was a great after hours trade. You could see it had a nice little Fausto flag right here. So I'm not a big fan of it right now because, like I said, we got that big resistance. Do I have it on here on level 4? Yeah. So when I look over here and I was covering this yesterday, you could see we had some orders there, but you see there's an order right there, but he pulled it and starting to come back down. So be careful of GPS. All right. Be careful of that stock. What else that we had? So Costco had earnings too. And it was like it was like a little bit all over the place. So it's kind of flat. We're not trading Costco, but it definitely is the staple of when it comes to all the markets and stuff like that. We also looked at Foot Locker, FL. That one also had earnings. That one did pretty well. Had a nice push. We did well with that one, and obviously it backed off. So there's a lot of them out there. What was the other ones that came out? There was a couple other ones that came out. But the retailers didn't really do too much. I didn't really see too much there. What else that we had that's moving this morning? Lucy. So Lucy had a nice little move yesterday, and she's moving again this morning. You can see here on the long-term chart right there. Stock was literally at the price around 31 cents. It's at $1. I'm not a big fan of trading stocks under $1, and you know why that is. You're dealing with tenths of a penny. You think you got a penny spread. But then remember, it's moving tenths of a penny. But if it holds above $1, the stock could be pretty decent. LUCY, stock already traded almost 10 million shares in pre-market. That's a lot. So as in orders go, listen, you got This is what you're dealing with. 500,000 shares, 200,000 shares, 100,000 shares. This is what you're dealing with. Okay. So I'm not a big fan of it. I'm put it on maybe put on the C list, to be honest with you. So that one is just be very careful of that one right there. CISS, that one had a nice pop and then it came back down this morning. So there was a couple of orders out here holding it, but they get executed. So I'm actually quite interested about this stock in CISS. Stock you could see was about $500 last year. I guess when you factor in all the stock splits, can it go back to 500? Listen, be happy if you make a day's pay on it. All right. So can we get a little dead cat bounce? We'll see what happens. I mean, it is moving this morning, 6.6 million shares. Stock is awfully tradable, good spread, deep price levels. That's really what we want. That's what we're really concerned about. So Summit just had a big pop right now. All right. I'm going to bring it up right now. Some of you probably saw it. Grant, you saw that? So Summit just had, you could see it right here. Nice big pop when we started. It went from $8 up to 10. Show you here the order out here. These orders got filled. There's an order of 20,000 that showed up here at 820. Hit a resistance levels at 10, but that order did get executed. Remember, the bulls are very important. Not only we see the orders, which is on the level 3 part, but the level 4 gives us a lot more data. So let's just give an indication if orders getting filled, if they're not getting filled. So, if you didn't watch my video for some of you on social media, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I explain in detail, how to read those orders. And obviously being a student here in phase 3, we're going to cover that again. Okay. But those are the things that we cover in class. Okay. So not in the trading room. Thanks for Josh for telling that. All right. So we just said it in phase 2, lesson 7. All right. Now, is there anything else that's popping up out in the market? No. Listen, this stock's an IPO. I would stay away from it. Some of the brand name stocks. Listen, Eli Lilly is doing great. I just read an article yesterday that they said that the Wegovy drug, the weight loss drug, is actually curing kidney disease. So that I think it got a big push on that, and wasn't huge on the push on the news, but you could see Nuvo did really well on that. I'm a huge fan. I mean, listen, it is when you tell people they can't get it, which is a problem that they're having and doing well. They did come out with an ETF. I actually own every one of them. I'm still a big fan of it. I'll tell you what I did do. I got out of Amazon. Because you know what? I did well with it. We had it all the way down here, and it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. I'm tying my money up, where I can trade something else that's got some good movement. And NVIDIA, obviously, if you can get past this resistance, we'll do pretty well. I jumped in what was it? The ETF one of it. There it is. That one right there. NVDL. Okay. So, and then the other big one that we didn't call out is Kava. I mean, listen, 100 is going to be a big resistance levels. I know some of us are sick to our stomach getting out, but you know what? When a stock breaks all-time highs, that's where it comes down to it. So keep an eye on the Kava and keep an eye on the weight loss drugs. Okay, I'm going to put them on there too. All right, guys, anything missing, fellow traders? Anything else? Anyone on social media? Anything you guys are looking at? Just go over that. Nope. All right. So once again, class is coming up. All right. Class is going to be going on in 15 minutes. So if you're a student, we just posted a link up there. If you want to know how to get in there, talk to Education Advisor. If you're watching on social media, on the top left-hand corner, take your phone, scan that QR code. You can join us in our trading. We'll be here all day, commentary. So you just don't have to be in the morning. So come and join us and see how, why we've been doing this for over 30 years and, and have, and the most well-known educational school, most popular school on the industry. Okay, guys? Just remember, you got to learn before you can earn. Oh, and if you're a new trial member, because we got a lot of new signups yesterday, please, if you're in the trading room, you're a new trial member, don't buy anything. You're here just to observe. You're here to see how we teach other traders and see how they think for themselves, okay? If I don't see you, fellow traders, enjoy your weekend, but we'll be back in 15 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll start commentary once the market opens up. Good luck, everybody. Trade safe.